thank you all for coming to this very brief press conference that we are holding in regards to the recent results that we are releasing to the public in terms of an independent forensic pathologist report relating to the fatal shooting of Imam Luqman Abdullah that took place on October 28, 2009. How this is going to work is that our staff attorney, Lena Masri, is going to read a prepared statement based upon the results of Dr. Wecht's report, and then I will mention some more concerns that we have regarding two photos, in which Dr. Wecht also made comments on in regards to the crime scene. And then we will have spokesman for the Detroit Coalition Against Police Brutality and National Lawyers Guild member, Ron Scott, will also make some comments in regards to this case and raise a couple of other concerns. By the way, I'm the Executive Director of the Michigan Chapter of CAIR, Council on American Islamic Relations. My first name is D-A-W-U-D, Daoud. Last name Walid, W-A-L-I-D. The report that we are releasing to the public today is based upon autopsy photos and also the initial autopsy report that was given by Dr. Schmidt, Wayne County Medical Examiner. Due to the sensitivities of the Abdullah family, the body was not, or his corpse was not exhumed in regards to this report. Nonetheless, Dr. Wecht, who is a well-known, internationally renowned pathologist, stands by these results and says with a high degree of certainty that the results that he has in this report are indeed accurate. To give you some information about Dr. Wecht, and I put his, I gave you all some of his credentials. There's a cliche in our society about someone actually writing the book. Dr. Wecht literally wrote the books that are used in universities for forensic pathology. He's been involved in some very high-profile cases, including investigating and consulting in terms of the assassinations of President Robert F. Kennedy, President John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and also the Branch Davidian incident. And at Duquesne University, there is a forensic pathology school which is named after him, in which he is a professor at Duquesne University, and he also holds a JD. So with that, I will now turn the microphone over to CAIR Michigan Staff Attorney Lena Masri, who will read a brief statement on behalf of our organization based upon Dr. Wecht's report.
My name is Lena Masri, L-E-N-A-M-A-S-R-I. I'm the staff attorney for CAIR Michigan. The Michigan chapter of the Council on American Islamic Relations today releases results for an independent forensic pathologist regarding the fatal shooting of Imam Luqman Abdullah by FBI agents last October. Dr. Wecht's forensic pathology report diverges from the initial autopsy report performed by the Wayne County Medical Examiner in three respects. Dr. Wecht's report concludes that the wounds and lacerations suffered on Imam Abdullah's face, hands, and arms were caused by teeth and claw marks, presumably from FBI attack dogs. Dr. Wecht's report further concludes that Imam Abdullah's jaw was fractured by an FBI attack dog, not due to the impact of falling on the ground. Finally, Dr. Wecht's report concludes that Imam Abdullah was shot twice in the back, not once as originally reported. An oral clarification given by Dr. Wecht elaborated on the lack of medical attention given to Imam Abdullah. Dr. Wecht stated that Imam Abdullah had zero chance of survival, even if he had suffered the same gunshot wounds on an operating table in the hospital. However, he also stated that law enforcement agents lacked the expertise to make that conclusion, and as such, it was incumbent upon them to seek immediate emergency medical assistance for the Imam as they sought medical attention for their wounded attack dog. Dr. Wecht further stated that and I quote, "In any kind of situation in which someone is shot by the police and the police claim that the victim had a weapon and was either shooting or threatening to shoot at the police or a third party, the victim's hands should always be swabbed to test for gunpowder residue. In this case, there can be no question whatsoever that the victim's hands should have been checked for gunpowder residue." CAIR Michigan continues to raise serious concerns regarding the lack of transparency in this case from various law enforcement entities. Numerous Freedom of Information Act requests were filed with various entities which comprise the multi-jurisdictional law enforcement task force that conducted the series of raids on the day Imam Abdullah was killed. Not a single Freedom of Information Act request has been granted to our office. We requested public information ranging from information regarding the law enforcement units involved in the raids to audio and video surveillance footage in the warehouse showing the fatal shooting of the Imam. The Dearborn Police Department has denied our request for the necropsy report of the FBI attack dog, yet it provided the same report to Fox 2 News. Based upon the systematic suppression of public information by local, state, and federal law enforcement agencies regarding this case, we believe that a Department of Justice Civil Rights Department investigation is necessary to ensure independence and integrity. We again reiterate our call to President Barack Obama to direct U.S. Attorney General Holder to launch an immediate and full-fledged civil rights investigation into the circumstances which led to the fatal shooting of Imam Luqman Amin Abdullah. We also reiterate our call to President Obama to order Mr. Holder to review the current protocols of the FBI regarding the usage of confidential informants and agent provocateurs in houses of worship. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Masri. And you all actually were given some copies of the FOIA denials in terms of the information that we asked for. And I think that it's quite ironic that President Obama's administration has called for a transparent and impartial investigation into the flotilla incident close to Gaza, yet there hasn't been much transparency in regards to this situation. And we call on President Obama to order Attorney General Holder to do a thorough civil rights investigation to this matter, which is impartial and transparent. Now, I know that these pictures are going to be too graphic to be shown on the media, but I will explain a very serious concern that we have, so I'm going to hold these up and then I will discuss these. Now, on my left hand, you see a picture, and we can email you these pictures, by the way. In my left hand, you see a picture in the warehouse where you see a significant amount.
Sorry, can you hold them straight up?
Okay. Okay. In the warehouse, in my left hand, you see a picture with a significant amount of blood on the floor. It's a cement floor with shelves. And on the right, you see a picture of the imam's body with a law enforcement officer, and you don't see a lot of blood on the floor. Now, we have some concerns in regards to if the imam's body was actually moved during the crime scene. For a man to have been shot 21 times, we see very little loss of blood in terms of where his body is laying at in the trailer. However, we see a significant amount of blood here in the warehouse. You'll notice that one has a cement floor, one doesn't. One has shelves, one doesn't. So this leads us to the question of we don't know why all this blood is here on the floor, if Imam Luqman's body was moved, and if his body was not moved for medical attention, was there contamination of the actual crime scene? These are all legitimate questions that we are asking, as well as other advocates, and we'd like an answer to these questions. With that, I will turn the microphone over to Mr. Ron Scott from the Detroit Coalition Against Police Brutality and the National Lawyers Guild. Hold on, Ron. Let me move this over here.